BMW claims that the i3 offers a new level of affordable electric motoring. It's available as a range extender with a tiny two-cylinder petrol engine or as a pure electric car. But given that it's only slightly bigger than the Ford Fiesta and it costs roughly the same as the 3 Series, the affordable claim could seem like a bit of a stretch. Looking beyond the price for just a minute, the i3 is actually a really fantastic thing. It's a very light car. It's got a carbon fibre passenger cell, so it only weighs sort of just over 1,100 kilograms. And for all that, it's actually got 168 brake horsepower, whether you're in the range extender or the pure electric car, which gives it, verging on hot hatch pace really. It does low 7 seconds to 62 miles an hour, and you really do feel like it's a fast car. Not only that, it's rear-wheel drive, the steering's nicely weighted, so you have loads of confidence in it, and you can just really have fun in the i3. It's really good. Of course, on top of that, as you'd expect from an electric car, refinement is outstanding in electric mode. And even in the range extender with that thrummy little two-cylinder petrol engine going, it's still a pretty quiet car, even at higher speeds. Now, what most people are going to want to know about the i3 is the range. On pure electric mode only, you're going to get 80 miles on a good day when it's warm and you're not using too many of the ancillaries. However, typical UK conditions when it's cold, headlights, heated seats, etc., probably about 60 miles is more realistic. And when you do run out of electricity, if you've got the range extender, that little two-cylinder engine only has a 9-litre fuel tank, which will get you about a further 70 miles. So this still really isn't a great long-distance car. It is also worth noting that the ride is a little bit firm. It does get a bit sort of crashy over bigger potholes and expansion joints. But having said that, it's never really an uncomfortable car, even around town. The cabin is a real selling point in this car. You sit up quite high and there's loads of visibility because of all this glass around, so it's a really comfortable place to be. It also looks really cool, particularly if you go for one of the optional upgrades to the interior, which can cost up to £2,000, but it does get you all sorts of really lovely materials like this eucalyptus wood and even a sort of plant fibre based panel, which actually feels really nice. The gear shift is also pretty unconventional. It's on the steering column up here and you twist it to select a gear, and the starter button's housed in there as well. As standard, you get a slightly smaller colour touchscreen than you see in this car. You get a 5-inch screen instead. However, you do get sat-nav, USB input, DAB radio and 19-inch alloys all included. Getting into the back of the i3 is actually really easy because these doors are rear hinged and they open up nice and wide and you've got no pillar. However, whilst access is really good, you can only seat 2 people in the back of the i3, and those with longer legs might find their knees pressed against this fairly uncomfortable plastic backing. At least there is plenty of headroom, and so it does actually still feel pretty spacious. The boot is big enough, 300 litres, you can get a big weekly shop or a couple of suitcases in there, and the seats do fold flat. Just don't expect it to be quite as practical or as flexible as a standard family hatchback. You do make some compromises for the batteries under the boot floor. You might also want to consider carrying around a jerry can of fuel, given that tiny 9-litre tank. This is another half a tank. Whether the BMW i3 in pure electric form or range extender form suits your lifestyle really comes down to your individual needs. Certainly, when you do the maths, a diesel Audi A3 or conventional hatchback is still cheaper than a range extender. These cars are just so expensive to buy. However, the appeal of electric cars is really easy to see. They're great fun, there is a real freedom to not having to fill up at petrol stations regularly, and also you get extra perks like free congestion charge, parking in towns, and also really low company car tax. If you do think you can justify having an electric car and you really value the premium element, the BMW i3 is the best option out there at the moment. For more information, go to whatcar.com and search for BMW i3. And while you're here, click subscribe and have a look at the rest of the videos on our channel.